From sunrise until sunset, and dusk until dawn, every minute of every hour of every day, on the front line, it's key workers keeping our country moving, putting themselves at risk to keep others safe, for the vulnerable, for the sick, for the young and the old. We rise to the challenge. We care, we protect, we help, we fix, we deliver for everyone. We will get through this, and it's thanks to our key workers. We're proud to represent heroes, and not all heroes wear capes. Key workers deserve recognition, protection and support. Get us on your side. Join us today.
Good evening. Welcome to the GMB Hermes evening event for members. I'm Steve Garrick. I'm just going to basically do a brief introduction on our behalf to introduce everyone in, and then I'll be leaving you during the broadcast and in the capable hands of my colleague Paula, who's working tirelessly in the background to make sure everything goes right. I'll hand over to Mick Wicks to do some introductions.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Steve, and also thank you to Paula. So can deal with that. You've seen some flicking around on the screen, everybody. Please don't worry. To some people just trying this at the moment, it's a new piece of kit, it's a new piece of technology. Although we've used it in the past, it's really Paula's first time of using it, and we're grateful that she is doing that. And without her, we just wouldn't be able to do it. So if you just see things flicking around on the screen, don't worry. It's Paula that's just getting used to it. And I know in a couple of minutes, she's going to be the world's best expert at using this platform. So good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all safe. And I think we're all sort of looking forward to some easing of the restrictions over the next couple of weeks. It's really been a long year for people. And, you know, without you as couriers, this nation wouldn't have got through the last 12 months. You know, it's thanks to you as key workers, along with other key workers in this country, that have absolutely kept this country going in a time of crisis and a time of need. So thank you to you all for doing that. Joining us tonight is Ed Cross, who's the chair of the GMB National Courier Reps. He's a courier, just like all of you. He often tries to tell people that. Some people don't listen, so I'm just going to say it on his behalf. He's a courier just like you, and he has been for about 26, 27 years. And of course, we've got Susie, who's the vice chair of the GMB National Courier Reps. Again, a courier just like you. Part of this fight from the very beginning into building up to what we're trying to do today. So we've got a great little agenda. It's good to see you all. We're probably going to do another meeting in either a week or two's time to tell you about some other issues that we're going to be dealing with. But we felt that, you know, we made a promise that we were definitely going to hold at least once a month a national meeting with everybody virtually, so that we could talk to you and inform you of what's taking place. And I'm really pleased that you've all been able to join us tonight. Steve, do you want to put up the slide, please, so we can show people what the potential agenda is? But we'll also play it by ear because, you know, GMB members, couriers, sometimes you want to discuss your own things. And if that comes through on the chat, we'll take notice of that. Yeah, so what we're doing, we've done the welcome and introductions, everybody. We just want to give you a bit of an update around the pay invoices, or in some cases, the lack of pay invoices that should have been sent to some people. We're dealing with the pay survey, which is just finished for people that we sent out. So we're dealing with that at the moment for this year's pay claim, which we will be meeting in June. So we've got some information to talk to you on that. And then, obviously, I think everybody's aware that there's been issues concerning the sort of delivery units. And how do we promote GMB more into the delivery units and couriers becoming local GMB contacts? So, you know, we can talk to members a lot more through the growing network of reps that have come forward to be a GMB local rep. So shall we go through some of the issues on the lack of pay invoices that some people have received, and one or two things around the pay? Ed, do you want to kick us off on this one, please?
Yeah, sure, mate. Good evening, everybody. As you are all aware, me and Susie sent out some emails over the last week, fortnight, just asking you for your information. Have you been paid? And to be honest with you, we've had not such a good response. If you've got one of those emails and you still haven't answered it, can you please answer it, because it's important. You may be missing out on a bonus that should be yours. Yeah, we've had quite a mixed bag. Without a shadow of a doubt, we will be speaking to Hermes because it looks like that there has been payment issues with them. Sadly, some of our colleagues have entered things like wrong courier numbers, and we're looking at them. And I know some of you have sort of had email conversations with me and Susie, and we're going to look at those. It hasn't happened as we wanted it to. There are issues, but our job in representing you is to make sure that we address those issues. But we do need your information to do that. I don't know whether you've got anything more on that to say, Susie.
No, not really. Just we have had quite a few issues, like you've said, and we do need a response to those emails. We've had about half back that we sent out, so we're still missing a considerably large amount.
The thing is, as Susie just said, we've only had about half back. We've got to be quite honest with you. We need to push on and get this back to the company. So those that haven't been paid, we can look at getting them paid. We will have to assume that if you haven't answered, everything is okay and you've been paid. And I know a lot of you who have been paid have been good enough to answer the emails and send us back and just let us know. But again, if you haven't answered one of those emails, please, please, please email us. It doesn't take 2 minutes of your time. That's all we're asking. I think that's about it on that, Mick.
Yeah, cool. Shall we just go through one or two other issues that are around that about the pay? I just think I just want to say it to some people because I think it's right that we should acknowledge that some people are a little bit upset about the lack of invoices. I think some people have acknowledged that, perhaps it's our fault in some respects. Well, to be honest, I don't think we've made any mistakes, and I don't think we've done anything untoward. I think what people sometimes need to understand is it's not us that pays people, it's the company that pays people. And we honestly believed that when we made an agreement with the company and that our members backed that by an overwhelming vote, we would expect that company, like every other employer in the country, and does on a regular basis when we do pay deals with other companies, that they actually implement that. And what we've got is we've got a situation where I think quite a number of us are, it's not about being distrustful of the company or about their intentions. We're absolutely completely distrustful of some of the IT situations that they've got and some of the systems that we've done this a few times. But I think also there has been a lesson being learnt by myself, and myself, Ed and Susie. We've had one or two heart-to-hearts over the last week or two about what's happened. And what we've come to the realization is that perhaps our downfall is that we've assumed that sometimes when we've been talking to members or when we've been putting information out to members, we've assumed that members understand what we're talking about. That we've assumed that they know when we ask for a courier ID number. Why do we ask for that courier ID number? Well, because we don't have that information to start with. And the second thing about it is the courier ID number is basically the pay number for that courier, which enables us to tell the company, actually, it's this person that needs paying, not that person. It's that person that needs paying. We don't make a judgment on who should get paid, but it enables us to get the people that should be paid properly, correctly. And we've had some people that have just made the numbers up that they've sent to us, and that's the baffling thing. We've had some people that have just sent incorrect information about what what they are as a courier, whether they were lifestyle courier, whether they were SE plus. And again, I understand there's a transition that's taking place from lifestyle to SE plus and things like that. So I get it can be confusing. But yeah, we've made some assumptions that certain people have understood what we were saying sometimes. The vast majority have, because that's been realised in some of the information that's come back to us. But it's quite clear that some couriers have really not understood the importance of some of the things that we've asked for or why we've asked for them. And, what we'd like to say to people is this. If you never understand anything that we're saying, please ask. There is no such thing as a stupid question. There's stupid answers, but there's no such thing as a stupid question. And by the way, I also recognise and acknowledge that there are people that have difficulties in reading, not because they're illiterate, but because there are people that have dyslexia and other known issues that sometimes makes it difficult to read or get an understanding. I myself, I sometimes suffer with word blindness. I think I've written something and actually I've missed it out. And I've had that ever since I've been a young boy dealing with that. I always have to check things 6 or 7 times. My colleague Ed, he'll tell you, I'm sure he won't mind me saying it, Ed has dyslexia. So,
severe dyslexia.
So please, anybody, if you do not understand what we're asking for or why we're asking it, please don't be ashamed to talk to us. Please don't be ashamed in not ringing us up and saying, look, I'll need a little bit of help on this or something like that. That's what we're here for. We are on your side. We are here for you. So please do come forward to us. Anything else you want to add to this, Susie? What your feelings are about what's happened? Because
not really. I mean, I to be honest, I've been quite surprised by some of the stuff that we found. There have been incorrect courier numbers. There have been status issues. Something else that we found, though, Mick, was that people have been voting on the same link.
Yes.
So
instead of that, Susie?
instead of Couriers were obviously emailed individually, and that link was personal to them.
Yeah.
But some people, particularly in the same household, have shared that one email link. So a husband and wife might have voted. A husband's voted, the wife's then gone in and voted on the same link and has wiped the husband's vote off.
Yeah.
So it is important to remember, if you get individual links, to vote on your own individual link.
Yeah. I mean, as far as we're concerned, colleagues, we want to carry on with these methods because actually it does give people the greater opportunity to participate. If we do it by paper exercises, people can lose the paper, things happen and stuff like that. And it doesn't always work out. Things go missing in the post or whatever. So what we intend to do for the future, and obviously we've been a little bit limited with the pandemic, is that we will visit sites to talk to people and go through things around on surveys and with ballots and stuff like that. But we will also send our members a ballot link. And there is politely one other thing. Don't leave it whilst it's the last minute to say you've not received your link or you've not received an email. I mean, there are people that have come forward to us and said, I've heard this, and yet I've never received anything. Yeah, I mean, we've all become reliant on technology and electronic communication, and sometimes things may go wrong. I accept that, and it's nobody's fault. It could be it's just circling around in the ether somewhere over Watford, and one day it may land in your inbox. So these are the things. So please never be frightened about coming forward and asking. We know we try to get hold of as many people as possible, and sometimes we may miss one or two people, and it's not because of anybody's fault. It's just that something has happened, and it may have prevented us from getting hold of someone. So shall we go to the next? Shall we go to the next item? I was expecting Steve was going to flash up that agenda again, but he hasn't. Hey, as by magic, mention his name and he does it. So the 2021 pay survey update. Susie, do you want to go through a little bit of this, and then Ed, you also want to give a bit of context around it as well?
Yep. Well, pay survey, as people should know, concluded on Monday. We've had the data sent over, and Ed and I have spent all day today going through the data that members have sent in, and we'll be doing the same again tomorrow. What we will do is collate all that data, and we will put that to the National Committee on Friday, and we will formulate some points to create the pay survey for this year.
Yeah, I mean, as Susie said, we've spent all day going through it, and I want members to actually understand this. We are going through that survey in minute detail, and absolutely we're going to take into account every comment that every member has sent in. Yeah, we represent you. Okay, so what's on that pay survey is absolutely will lead us forward into the next pay claim. Okay, me, Susie, Mick, or any of the other national reps, Bob, Barry, we do not make it up ourselves. We do not select what goes into the pay claim. You, the members, do. Okay. Now, as you can imagine, we've had hundreds of surveys back, and one of the things that we can't do is include everything into the pay survey. But we were all discussing this last night in one of our reps meetings. Every comment, every request, every bit of information we will keep and we will follow up on, be it through our RDCFs, be it through a national meeting, be it one-to-one with regional managers or divisional managers. So none of the information you've provided for this pay claim will be lost or disregarded. And I just want all the members to know that, because it's so important that we get your feedback and we get the issues that are important to you. I mean, obviously, we can't go to the company with 600 or 700 requests. So you saw us do it. You saw what we could do last year. We will pull out, not just me, not just Susie, but all the national reps will be meeting to pull out what we're going to submit of your requests for the new pay claim. But please, please, please be assured, we are not going to disregard any piece of information or anything that you've sent to us, because all that information we will make sure is gathered and acted upon at the right time. I think that's what we agreed, Mick.
Yeah, no. It genuinely is. And,
yeah.
You know, I think people, you know, one of the lessons that I think we learned at the beginning of the balloting exercise earlier this year was actually when we mentioned to a lot of people that we'd actually consulted early last year on last year's pay claim. To literally hundreds of couriers saying, well, you didn't consult me. Well, actually, the reason why was because you weren't a member then. And you know, it'll be like now, I can guarantee in 6 months' time, when we say, well, this was the pay claim that we've put forward and it came by members because we consulted them, there will be people that will be saying in 6 and 7 months' time, well, you didn't consult me. Well, yeah, because you probably weren't a member at that time. So it's a moving feast. It's a moving feast. And it's just one of those vagaries of the situation that we have at this moment in time. But, you know, there are more and more couriers joining GMB. And so, you know, we'll have done a consultation 1 month. We won't have done one for quite a few months. And then there'll be people that I think they're missing out. So just explain that to people that it's still a new situation that is taking place. We do want to get around as many people as we can. But the essence is that the pay claim that we will be putting in on behalf of GMB members who are self-employed, worker status couriers, will come from the members themselves. That is the important thing. It is your pay and conditions. It's not mine. It's yours. And that will embody what goes into that pay claim. So we can give you an assurance on that. You know, hopefully we'll have tied it down by the end of this week, and we should be hopefully writing up the documents, which we will be submitting to the company, and we'll publish what we've done, and we will send that out so people can see the synopsis that we put behind the claim. And, you know, and just so people understand, you know, our agreement with the company only allows us to negotiate on behalf of self-employed or worker status couriers. It does not allow us to negotiate pay or conditions for lifestyle couriers. And I know there's some lifestyle couriers that are upset about that. There's nothing we can do about it. That is the agreement that we have, and that is the agreement that we've signed. There is a choice, and people can deal with it. Now, that doesn't mean to say that because we're not dealing with pay and conditions for lifestyle couriers, that does not mean to say that we're not representing lifestyle couriers, because we are, you know, and we've saved many a lifestyle courier's job. We've saved their work and the rounds that they've had, and we've got their money back that they were owed as well. And we will continue to do that. But actually, the agreement that we have in black and white with the company only allows us to collectively bargain on behalf of self-employed plus couriers and worker status couriers. So I just hope that explains it to people once and for all.
Just on that, Mick, if I can come in very quickly, we have had complaints from some of our lifestyle couriers that we don't represent them, yeah. And that is absolutely not true. Yeah. And hopefully on the broadcast tonight, and certainly on some of the WhatsApp groups, there are couriers now that we have helped that are lifestyle, and even over their rate reductions. I mean, we don't negotiate rates for lifestyle couriers, but we have sat down with them. We have done Zoom meetings with them. We have given them advice on how to negotiate. And some of those, I've got to be honest, and we're not just here to sing our own praises. but some of those couriers have come back to us and said, actually, you've just saved me, I think, what was it, one Thursday, 80 quid a month. So thank you very much. You know, we are still there to represent our lifestyle couriers. Okay. But as Mick's just said, the negotiating agreement is for SE Plus and workers. You know, and there's still time to switch, to be part of all that, before anything is agreed or signed and done. And I know a lot of you are switching over at the moment, and it really is something to consider, to be part of the pay claim, to be a full part of the pay claim.
Okay. Listen, shall we answer some questions?
Mick, just before I'm just going to say goodbye to everyone. Just to quickly say, I've just put out a body mapping exercise for London region couriers to start to get an idea of issues. Please respond to that, because I think that Mick and Ed will probably want to send something else out more, but it will help with negotiations. And also just send you all best regards and have a great night. Paula will add herself into the stream at some point, so you'll get to see her working away at the machine. But warm regards to you all. God bless.
Thank you very much,
Good night,
Steve.
Steve. Cheers, Steve. Thank you. And I mean, Steve's left a comment up there from William Moss, and actually that's a good piece of advice, William, and that's why you're a GMB local contact down in Southern Region, and giving advice to people on that basis. So that's brilliant. Can we then pick up some questions that are in the chat that have been sent to us? Has anybody got any questions that are coming through? If not, please, do you want to send some through now? Right, so Mike Quarterly, right, I'm going to try and guess what you mean here, because that can be read a few ways. So it says, Mick, I understand that, but can you advise the likes of myself, multi-round holders who can't become SE Plus? So what are you looking for advice on here? Are you looking for advice around negotiating rates or representation? Because as we've said, in the agreement, it talks about lifestyle couriers are excluded from collective bargaining negotiations with the trade union. So when we're talking about lifestyle couriers that are multi-round orders, we're talking about those that have 4 or more. And by the way, that's not me that's made that determination. That's the company that's made that determination. They've brought it in. It was just lifestyle couriers at one time. So they've brought that determination in. So if you're saying that you want to be party to the collective bargaining agreement for those couriers that have 4 or more rounds, then what needs to be done is that people need to potentially do a petition. They need to join GMB Union, and they need to say that they actually want those rights. And if there's a majority that does that, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be one of those that will say, right, we'll go forward and we'll try and negotiate that with the company. But I think what people also need to be aware of, that a couple of years ago, we did give a guarantee to lifestyle couriers that we would not negotiate. People have said, well, where did we give that guarantee to? Well, you know, at one stage, we were on a forum, lifestyle courier forum, and it was run by XLC, and we had GMB pages on there, and we encouraged up to 6,500 couriers to be on that site. So we used to regularly hold discussions, and we gave that guarantee to people that we would do that, and that's what we've abided by, and that's one of the reasons why the lifestyle are not covered by the agreement for collective pay bargaining within the document. But if people want that to change, that are lifestyle couriers with more than 4 rounds, then at the end of the day, we will go forward and we will negotiate that. But there has to be a majority that becomes a GMB member to say that, and to participate in a survey to say that that is what you want. And if you do that, we'll go forward with the company and we'll put in for a negotiation. Any other questions, Ed, that you've picked up that you think we should be answering?
Yeah, just a few, Mick. Just somebody asked a question earlier on that I saw shoot up is, were we going to run a vote on what we were submitting in the pay claim? The answer is no, for the simple reason we have consulted you. We will be looking at the majority of things that came back, and I'm going to ask you, all of the members, to trust your reps because we represent you. We have a good insight into the company and what we will be able to achieve, because we could go in with some big demands that we're not going to achieve, which would be not right for a pay claim. So what I'm asking you to do is actually trust your national reps. They are now experienced in this, and we have a good team of reps, and Mick's been doing this for probably, he'll throttle me for saying this, but 30 odd years plus. So
I'm as old as Methuselah.
Yeah. So Mick, he knows his stuff. So we will pull together a good pay claim, I promise you.
Yeah. I just think, people need to understand that democracy is a very big part of our union's fabric, and GMB members are the backbone of our trade union. Not me as officers. Members are the backbone of our union, and that is why we want members to become involved and become contacts and become reps, and we want people to take control of their own workplaces, because that's how it should be. So at the end of the day, there has to be some issues. We all think we know, and I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by good courier reps like Ed and Susie and Jason and Barry and Angela and Emma and Bob that's come on board, who are also equally doing a fantastic job. I'm really lucky to be working with some really good committed people, and they're couriers just like you. They talk to couriers on a daily basis. They're on the WhatsApp groups with the couriers on a daily basis. They too know what's important for the couriers. So the items that are coming through and the items that have come through, we know what's important. We have that general idea. But what I would also like to say to people is there will be people that will have submitted stuff that actually it will not play any part of a pay claim, because it's not really part of a pay and conditions claim. It could be about treatment issues. It could be how, what's taking place locally. So there's other areas where we will take those items and we will play them into other areas of where the company negotiations are, like at regional divisional council forum level within the company's divisions. And there will be things that we think, this might not be the right time to run with this item, but we're just going to put it on the back burner for a little bit. It might be the right time to run with it in 6 or 7 months' time. So there's things that are being presented to us that we're not just going to discount. There'll be a right time for that to take place, or it may involve a campaign that may need to take place to get other couriers on board with some of those things. So don't think that, if you don't see your idea in a grouping of ideas that are in the pay claim, don't think they're being forgotten or discontinued, because, we don't. It's all there, it's all documented, and it'll be used when we all believe it's the right time to be used as well. Anything else there, Ed?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I just saw Mark Turnbull post, and again, it shot up the screen, but I think he was saying something about what do we think about the new procedure where we have to ring customers to sort out address queries, etc. It's not part of our contract. So the answer is we're not doing it. Okay. Tell your CDM it is very much part of their job, not yours. Look, I say to all the couriers out there, If you're not sure what's in your contract, it's on the GMB notice board. If you are stuck, if you want to know, there's a team of reps now that are here to support you. But we will not put up with the CDMs passing the job onto you and at your cost. So you are not obliged to ring customers to sort out any sort of query. That is the company's job. Okay, our job is solely to deliver the parcels. Okay, and I just saw Mark pass that up. So I just wanted to address that. And I've had other couriers recently come to me with the same sort of thing. It seems to be creeping in. And no, look, we're not going to tolerate it. I have already asked the company, is this correct? And the answer was, no, it's the CDM's job. So you can tell them if they really got a problem with it, come to us and we will deal with it at national level. Not a problem.
Yeah. Just around that, your customer service ends with the delivery of the parcel and things of that nature. And of course, people would expect that everybody has a smile and a thank you and stuff like that. That's all you're obliged to do. And the people that are telling you this, you know, at the end of the day, if this is what the company want people to do, well then, you know, there's an issue. You either agree to do it or you don't. And if you do agree to do it, you'd be daft enough to agree to doing it without the proper training and without the payment for it as well. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to become a customer services rep in some respects. So no, it's a nonsense. There was a question I just want to pick up, just very quickly. It was from Paul Quinn. What's the difference between a rep and a contact?
I saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, so, Paul, the difference between a contact and a rep. So we are allowed 9 national reps who are also regional reps in their right. And they have rights to meet with the company at different levels and at national level with me. So when they're meeting regionally, our regional organisers from the trade union, our lead ones will be in those meetings. And when we're dealing with it nationally, they're meeting with me. In time, it potentially will be that there will be a separation between the regional and the national, and that we'll have more reps that will just do the regional side of things and the reps that just do the national side of things. In time, the more that we grow membership-wise, then we may move to a situation where there may be people locally that may be doing that. At this moment in time, there is no facility within our agreement for a local rep. We have local contacts, and actually they're assisting our national regional reps. They're promoting information. They're on a contact group. They receive information, and they're there to help promote and tell people what is taking place, because they get that information quickly. And if they need an interpretation on something that's landing locally from us, that they are entitled to that interpretation. So in some respects, it's just a change in language. It's that we're not entitled to have a rep locally. So what we've decided is that we're going to have GMB local contacts. And there are some of these people that are very much the focal point locally and the go-to people locally. And they are liaising with CDMs and other people. And they're playing a valuable part. But, you know, what I do say to people is, you know, our agreement isn't just finished. You know, it will change. The more couriers become active in the union, the more couriers that join, then actually we're going to need more reps, because, you know, looking at after potentially up to 20,000 people, it's a lot of people to represent and to look at. So, you know, in the end, obviously we are going to need more reps. So the structure of the agreement that we have with the company will change over time. Hope that explains it, Paul.
Can I just come in on the back of that as well, mate? The one thing that is so valuable to the likes of me, Bob, Susie, Barry, from those local contacts, is that we know what's going on in your local DU. If that DU is not fit for purpose, if there's bullying going on, just like Mark actually has put on there about ringing customers. He's one of our local contacts, so immediately now we know that's going on in the DU. Your voice, it's your voice that's been heard. If you want to be a local contact in your DU, please contact one of us and contact your national rep, and we'll get that sorted out for you. We are only as good as the information that you as the couriers give us, okay? And that is so important. When we started the lockdown, was it 15 months ago? Me and Mick got together with Barry and Susie, because there was only the three of us then, and we decided we were going to try and get as many DUs cleaned up, for want of a better word, as we could. I know I had a direct contact with the company to do that, and I think all told, I only knew about 60 to 65 DUs. There's 700 out there. That means there was a lot of DUs that we never heard about. We don't know what's happening in those DUs, and we will have members in those DUs, okay? We need your information, okay? That is so vital to everything that we do. And just on that, I saw Mark post about the company and the CDMs. If you don't ring the customer to sort out the query, you get put to the back of the list and they won't do your handshake for you. I know Bob's been helping you, and no offence to Bob. Can you get those details to Susie, because she has a direct line of contact to the divisional manager for that area, who will, I am sure, not accept that behaviour, because we won't accept it. And we only met with them yesterday, and Susie has already raised some issues. So if you can, Mark, can you get that issue to Susie, please? No offence to you, Bob. It's just I know Susie has the direct line of contact. Have you anything, questions you've seen, Susie, that you want to bring up?
Not really. There was one about badly conditioned pallets and collars coming into the DUs. If there is anything like that, if you send us photographs, we can actually raise that in the RDCF to start with. We did that. There was a phase last year where there were nails and screws in collars, and we actually had that stopped at national level. So anything like that, any dangerous collars, pallets, anything, send photographs to us.
Yeah, we actually had some cages recently that I think, again, Mark, one of our depot contacts, sent to Susie. And to be honest with you, if somebody had stepped back into this cage, it could have put one of the wires off the cages that were sticking out. It could have gone through somebody's back. You would have had a serious incident. Somebody could have actually been possibly killed. This is not acceptable. We don't accept it. If you know about it, we need to know, because we will challenge it. And I think those cages, when we pointed them out, were changed within a matter of days, as far as I know. So please do not sit quiet. We are here to represent you. Hold us to account, make us do our job, and give us the information. We will be there for you. We promise. Go on, Susie. Any more? I just saw somebody saying, "Can you answer my question on packets?"
Yeah, and it had an angry face on it.
Was that the question? I have 80% packets. Why were they supposed to be about the same volume as parcels? Okay, I think we all can acknowledge that packets are the vein of our lives. Okay. I know some think that since the pay claim, our last one, the packets have increased. Can I be absolutely truthful with you? That's not the case. I know it appears to be like that. Next, every company that deals with Hermes have always had the ability to use the packet banding. Okay. Now, I think some of the things have collided. Just as we've ended the pay claim, we have companies that they want bigger volumes out. They've not had the sales, obviously because of a pandemic. And I know we've been delivering a lot of things, but I think some companies are still struggling. So I suspect that's one of the reasons that they've chosen to use the packet banding. And actually, we were talking the other day, and I am going to hand over to Susie in a sec, because Susie had a very good thought and reasoning as to why we have a lot of packets now in the network. If you want to explain it, Susie, you do it better than me.
Impressive than you. I suspect I may not be right, but I suspect a lot of these companies now have what's called an annual delivery pass, I suppose, for want of a better word, where customers sign up and pay maybe £10 or £20 a year and get free next day delivery. So in days gone by, customers would maybe wait and do a big order once a month, and you get one standard parcel every month for a particular household, pay £3.99. That's it. Nowadays, they can go online, order a pair of socks on a Tuesday and have it delivered tomorrow. They can go online and order a pair of knickers on a Wednesday. It arrives the next day. So customers are getting that free next day service for £10. We're getting maybe 20 packets to deliver to what would have been one standard parcel in the old days. So I suppose although packets have gone up, it's admitted we're delivering maybe 20 packets for one standard. I suspect that's why the packets have gone up.
Well, just on the back of that, Susie, I see Emma, one of our other national reps from the southern region, has just popped up there. Boohoo have just put their annual delivery pass down to £7.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the outside, and these are not within the GMB's control. And in all fairness, I think sometimes are not within Hermes' control. It is just the changing face of the online delivery market. But I will not sit here and say that doesn't affect us. It really does. You know, as Mick said, myself and Susie, Emma, who's just posted that, Barry, Jason, Bob, you know, Angela, Jason, we're your national reps. We have couriers too. That hits our pocket as well. Okay. Yeah. But what we are going to do, we are going to tackle this as hard as we can. And as Mick said, sometimes it's not just us do a pay claim. We need to do a campaign on it. We need to be almost relentless in taking this to the company to make sure that it's tackled properly. And we all know the packet racket is there. Okay. I mean, Susie and I don't think we were shocked. And again, we've only got so far through the survey, and I've spent some time today just pulling some data off the survey. It's actually one of the most requested, talked about issues within the pay survey is packets and the packet racket. And I know we've seen a massive increase recently. I honestly don't think it was off the back of the pay claim. I really don't. I know there was the change to 1.4. And again, I ask you all to remember that had your national reps not gone in and represented you, the company would not bothered. 1.4, they were going straight for 2K packets. That, again, and I know some of you saw the other broadcast we did, that was a possible loss to couriers of anywhere between 1,800 and I think nearly £5,000 a year. Yeah, and we had that stopped. I am sure again this year when we're doing the pay deal, they will want an adjustment on packets again. We will have to see what the offer is for that and where we go with that. But please be assured, the packet rack is very much on our radar. And yeah, we're sick of it, to be honest with you. Absolutely fed up of it. The amount of packets, the amount of standards that are coming through as packets, it's not right. It is just not right. I'm never going to sit here and defend it, excuse it, or accept it. Like, I hope none of you are. But I can guarantee every one of your national reps is fed up to the back teeth of it. And we will be challenging the company, even if it's not through the pay claim. If it is through the pay claim, we will be doing a lot more extended on this, because it has to be now a campaign that, you know, we're going to be packet couriers before long, doing a few heavy and large. It's not acceptable. It isn't acceptable. So please bear with us. Keep feeding the pictures in, because I know Peter Key, and I think it's Kathy. Is it Kathy Wendon, or am I getting the name wrong there, Susie?
No, that's right. Yeah. It's Kathy and
They've set up a Facebook page where you can supply the data. I was on there only a short while ago and was pulling, I think, postable pictures and evidence off to send to one of the divisional managers who I'm waiting for feedback. So we are doing things in the background, but please keep that information coming. You know, it is vital. And look, absolutely agree. I am fed up to the back teeth of packets. It's not acceptable, and we need to challenge it, and we are going to. So I hope that answers that lady's question. Any more, Susie, that we can see?
There's another one on the DUs again. Like I said, with the broken collars and pallets, this one's the hygiene of the toilets. Send in photographs to us. We raised toilets only this morning with one of the divisional managers.
Yeah, Steve Good from the London region was doing just that.
Again, unless we know, we can't do anything about it. Send us the photographs and we can tackle it at regional level, and they do get sorted.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, Steve was on with that this morning in his IDCF with the London management that it was unacceptable. But again, Steve had the photographs, he had the evidence. The one thing I would say is, well, two things. Please, we need your information to go to our RDCFs. Okay, that is our first line of defence about some of these things that are happening. Okay, the senior management have absolutely pushed their regional managers and divisional managers to work with us. Okay, it's never been done before, where now regional managers have to speak to us, have to meet with us. I know Barry up there in Yorkshire, he is meeting with his RDM, I think, once a week now. So issues are dealt with. Steve down in London is having a regular meeting with his RDM to raise issues now on a weekly basis rather than having to wait a month. We need your information, okay? We need your evidence, okay? It's absolutely vital. And look, some of you will have seen me post on some of the WhatsApp groups. We see it day in, day out, where couriers have a problem, have an issue. As soon as one of us posts RDCF time again, can we have your items, can we have your issues? The tumbleweed blows across the WhatsApp group. Nobody wants to talk to us. It's your voice. And can I just assure people, right? Okay, unless it's a private issue over your pay or something specifically to do with you, when we go to RDCFs, like block toilets, cages, pallets, what have we had? Bird crap on parcels, rats in depots.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on. We don't take courier names, okay? And I want just to assure you all of that. We represent you. It's our name that's there. It's our face. We sitting and talking to these people face to face, or over a Zoom meeting like this one. We don't mention the courier names. It's absolutely irrelevant. So you have that protection behind us. So please, and I know there's a lot of people, and I was very saddened recently. And if you remember on the last Zoom meeting, I was very saddened on people not feeling they could come forward and talk to us. Certainly, I have fought for a long time, way back into the, well, I think Mick mentioned it earlier, the Lifestyle Courier Forum. I met, Mick was good enough to come all the way to Whitby to meet me. God, it seems like years ago, and it was about 4 or 5 years ago. And the one thing that has always been part of what I want is the fact that everyone in this network, every courier, has a chance to air their views, to have their problems sorted without fear of bullying, threats. And again, that's why I noticed that comment tonight about if you don't ring customers, we'll withhold your handshake. I'll guarantee you, if Susie doesn't have that stopped, I will, because I will take that to Conor Ormsby. That is absolutely disgraceful, okay? But now we know about it, we can deal with it, okay? Please do not, and I won't be mentioning anybody's name when that goes, okay? It's happening, I want it stopped. But it's because we know about it, okay? Please, keep your issues coming into us. The one thing I would ask is, if you've got an issue, okay, sometimes if you post it on the WhatsApp groups, we're out delivering all day like you. We come in, and I came in one night and there was 683 unread comments. But I've read through them. Look, I'm going to be honest, I miss things, okay? What I would ask you to do, our emails are on under our names now, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to post all the reps' emails up, and if the reps want to do that themselves, post it on the WhatsApp groups, email us, okay? We can keep that separate, and we can have an email chat about it. We've got an email trace. You can send us photographs. That is unless it's a personal issue, we will not be using your name. We will take those. Sometimes we will take them and challenge them, like we will do that issue of the handshake and ringing customers. We won't wait till the RDCF. We will deal with that straight away. But we need your information. It's so important. That's if we take that away, if that's all you take away from tonight's meeting, please, we need your information. We cannot do it without you. Sorry, Susie, I went on there a little bit, but it's so important. Any other questions you can see coming up, Susie?
No, I was going to say you answered one of the questions from Gemma Blagden. She said, how does she email photos to us? So both of our emails are on screen now, and we will put the other emails out in the WhatsApp groups.
Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll keep posting those every so often, once a week or so everybody gets to contact their local, their regional national rep, so they are there for you at the end of an email. The information, and I'll be honest with you, when we challenge the company, you can guarantee the one thing they will say to us: have you got an example? Have you got any evidence? Now, like Steve Good did this morning, he had the evidence. He had the photographs that the couriers had sent him. No question. The divisional manager had no choice. I'll get that sorted. We're not messing about. We want these things sorted. And again, I know I've been helping Bob a little bit with Bankshead in Scotland, where couriers, fantastic DU, get I think about 40, 60 cars inside, so they can all load in the dry. The only problem was there was about an inch of dust on the floor that was causing asthma attacks and sore eyes and people with breathing problems. Once we knew about it, we have now taken that right to the top. We're still waiting, and again, if any couriers are on here tonight from there, please let us know how it's gone, what's happening. I know Bob has some more up-to-date information I haven't caught up on. But again, once we know about it, we're not going to sit idle and go, we'll sort that when we get a chance. We're on it straight away. That's what we're here for, And like I say, for a long time, some of us has been fighting. So the courier, all of us, not just me, not just Susie, but all of you out there have a voice. You have a voice now. Please don't waste it. If you've got issues, if you've got problems, we can now get them resolved like we've never had the chance before. So please do let us have the information, pictures, videos. If you've got a problem, you know where we are. Okay. Sorry, Susie. Bounced in again.
That's fine. I'm just trying to keep up with some of these questions.
Go on, throw some more up.
Well, there's one about payday being Tuesday. Payday's always been Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, we got a question on that the other day via email, and I thought I'm going to send this to Ed and Susie because I'm thinking, is somebody sending me a trick question here? So anyway, apparently somebody was getting paid on a weekend. Somebody was getting paid on a weekend.
No, I think it's something we need to talk about, Mick, because it is a concern for couriers. And again, I think we've all said tonight how sometimes couriers don't get paid on time or don't get paid, and I think there will always be that distrust now for a while till we get a lot of these IT issues sorted. I don't think this is anything to do with Hermes. I have to be truthful, right?
I think it's just to do with the banking procedure itself.
It's the banking procedure. What has happened? Some of the banks, I've done a little bit of looking into this, and I'm no expert. Yeah. But believe you me, but I have done some questioning and I've sent some emails off. Apparently, some of the banks will put money into customers' banks before it's actually available because it's coming from a known source.
Right.
Now, I think what they're doing now, they are stopping that happening, so the money has to be available. So yes, look, people got paid on a Saturday when the payroll was run on a Friday, some on a Monday. The official day is Tuesday. Okay. Look, I appreciate couriers have sometimes banked around that with direct debits going out. I have to be honest with you all. I think that it's going to be Tuesday from now on. Okay. So if you need to change direct debits, if you need to change some of the things that you are going in and out of your bank account, I think it's maybe a wise decision. Okay. I know people will come back at me and say, look, but I've always had it on a Saturday. That's a bonus, okay? The official day is Tuesday. It has been ever since I started, okay? And my parents were couriers before me, and they got paid on a Saturday, funny enough. And then they changed banks, and it went to Tuesday. I'm always on a Tuesday. I think you're on a Tuesday as well, aren't you, Susie?
Mine used to be Monday,
Oh,
but
there
it's
you go.
Tuesday now. So
It's Tuesday now. Yeah.
it's proper
So,
Tuesday.
yeah, there's no point us trying to cover it up or say, there has been a change in the banking system. Okay, Hermes can't deal with that. They can't change that. I had a conversation with Connor, and he assured me the payroll had been run at the correct time and that everybody would be paid by the deadline on Tuesday. And as far as I know, everybody was. I've not heard any noise on that. I think we maybe have to accept that some of the processes are changing. So Tuesday is the payday. I know not what some of you want to hear, but I think that's the facts of it, and it's no good as being trying to cover that up. It is Tuesday. Anything else, Susie?
Can we go back to there's one from Natalie Guest about damaged parcels. Pressure being put on couriers to deliver. I'll be completely honest, I never deliver a damaged parcel. If I deliver a damaged parcel, that will come back on my head. So refuse to deliver a damaged parcel is my advice.
Same here. I never touch a damaged parcel. It goes back. My viewpoint, okay, this is my viewpoint. You are protecting yourself. I did it years ago, and I got Hermes on the phone, one of the customer service team, saying, "Oh, can you go and check your vehicle because the customer says there's parts missing?" I haven't got any parts. "Oh, well, are you sure you didn't see them?" And I got question. It was like the third degree. It's not my responsibility, So if I have damaged packages now, but can I just say something? Didn't Hermes put a comms out only last week? And I saw it on the HHTs. Damaged parcels now should not be delivered. If there's any damage to the contents or you think there's anything missing, they should. And Hermes have done that as well to back up what we're saying. I'll be honest with you. If you've got CDMs saying, "Oh, well, and can I be honest with you? I've had a CDM this week who said, Connor Ormsby's wrong. Sadly, Connor Ormsby is now aware of who that CDM is, and I suspect the conversation won't be as cheerful as he maybe thinks it will be when Connor rings him. Connor has put that message out. If you've got CDM saying Connor's wrong, I've had it from my manager, let us know. We will deal with it. We have a channel now through the RDMs and the divisional managers to deal with that, and we will deal with it. Because at the end of the day, guess who should be dealing with the damaged parcels? The CDMs. Okay? Once again, do not accept responsibility for their job. Okay? Anything else that while I'm talking, are you looking at, Susie?
Late vans out of Sheffield. I think we raised that in the RDCF yesterday.
RDCF yesterday, we had Stephen Nichols on, and he was quite open with us. All last week, there was a problem out of Sheffield, and late vans. And again, it was Paul. Some of your colleagues, I think, out of your DU, raised it with me. We've raised it in the meeting. They have promised us that there are new processes going into place to stop that. If we don't get any improvement, let me know again, because I think Paul's my region. Let me know again, and we'll deal with it again. And don't forget, now we're getting these RDMs sat in front of us, and very shortly we're going back to face-to-face meetings. So they will be very much sat in front of us and not on a computer screen. We will be sitting face-to-face with these people, and we want answers. It's as simple as we want answers. I also raised Nottingham. I know Barry raised Normanton, all in the same meeting yesterday, and we're challenging people. We're not going to put up with it. And to be very honest, in our last national meeting, I know some of you will have probably responded on the WhatsApp groups that when I put the request out for times of your DU openings. We took that to a national meeting, and one of the points on the national meeting was the service to the courier and the infrastructure behind us. And I think Susie will back me up. I actually said it's crap, in the national meeting, which, there was a few shocked faces. Then we went through it and stripped it apart. And because of that, now Connor and the senior management team will be feeding back to us every week about what new processes are coming in to deal with the issues that we raised. And if those issues don't go away, and you tell us they're not going away, we'll be staying with it until those issues do go away. It's not right. You all saw that the new processes that have come in, some via the pay deal with your photographs on attempt, all the new stuff they expect us to do, the 1 hour time slots coming in. They want us to professionalise and be because we sell about to the clients on, look what our couriers do. Well, as I told Connor and the senior team, then we want the same service from Hermes. Why should we be professional and do our job when we don't get the service behind the scenes on the infrastructure behind us? We will be challenging that now. Every RDCF, which we did this morning for the London region, we did yesterday for, let's say, Barry, Normanton, Sheffield, Nottingham, Steve this morning with some of his with Newmarket. I think Thurrock was on the agenda again as well. You keep telling us, we'll keep telling the company. Go on, Susie. Are you any more on that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not on late lorries, no. Photo audits. Should we move on to photo audits? Paul Quinn.
Photo audits.
On photo audits. Why, when you're emailed about failing an audit, you don't have a chance to defend yourself? You need to ask.
Go on, do you want to lead off on that, Susie?
You need to ask for the photographs for proof. Then you can challenge.
Okay, I've had two couriers recently.
Can we add something to this as well? It's not just about asking for the photographs. There's many couriers make a verbal request, and they get told, "Yeah, we'll do that." There is no record between you and the CDM that you've made that reasonable request. Yeah. You put it in writing. You either email or you send a text. It's in writing. You've made the request. So you have no right to accept anything unless you've seen the proof. And if the proof does show that there's a problem, well, you've got GMB to fall back on if you need help and representation.
Just a point on that, what Mick said, I've had two couriers recently who were local to me, failed the photograph audits, asked the CDM, never got a response, came to me. Not only did they see the photographs, they were sent the photographs. And that was on the first fail, by the way, because we have CDMs. I haven't got time. Not today. I can't do it because of GDPR. Some woman in head office won't let me. The fairies came down overnight and nicked my laptop. We've heard all the excuses. Okay. This is a disciplinary. Okay. This is very much part of a disciplinary. 4 failed audits and you can lose your job. Okay. You have a right to appeal and defend yourself on every one of those failed audits. Okay. Now, again, I double checked because it was discussed with us in the national meeting. I double checked after the national meeting. Can the couriers see the photographs? And the 2 senior managers that were there with me looked at me and went, absolutely. What's the problem? Well, tell your CDMs that, please. And again, I know for a fact that has been commsed out to CDMs that you can see your photographs. Okay? No ifs, no buts. You can see the photographs. What I would say is, can you also, when you're looking at the photographs, can you also find out what manifest that set of photographs came off? And I'll tell you for why. I had a courier who emailed me, couldn't see the photographs, asked her to contact the CDM and said, just get the manifest. When she got the manifest, in all fairness, she'd failed the photographs, okay? She'd failed 10 photographs on a manifest of 123 parcels, less than 10%. And the CDM said to me, no, it's 10 photographs. I went, no, it's not. It's 10%. She went back and checked with her manager, and it was 10%. That photograph audit fail was then removed from the courier, but only because they requested the information. Okay. If you are stuck, like Mick just said, you can fall back on us. We will go and ask that you can see those photograph audits. But we've already been and asked, so please feel free and say, the GMB have advised us that we in our rights to see those photographs. If you want, and some of the couriers are doing it, I may as well give you permission. Go and use my name, because some couriers are saying, "Oh, Ed from the GMB said." Yeah, well, Ed from the GMB has said you are entitled to see your photographs for your fairly photograph audit. If you've got a problem after that, you've got national reps. Just contact your own national rep, and they will deal with it for you. I'm making a lot of work for our national reps tonight, Mick.
They need it, mate. They need it. Our members are worth it. Our members are worth
absolutely, Mick. Absolutely, that's what we're here for.
Can I just say, there's been 2 or 3 comments go up in the chat about CDMs not necessarily abiding or being aware of agreements between Hermes and the GMB.
Oh, I think that's about been 70% a multiple of them.
I was just going to say, can we just we will make this an easier equation. We know 1 or 2 who are knowledgeable about the agreements. The rest, can I be honest with you? Let's remove CDMs from the equation. Can we add in there RDMs and DMs? Because some of them are not aware of our agreements. Yeah. You've got a problem. The agreements are on. I think still on the notice board, aren't they, Mick?
I mean, that's an important point, Ed. You know, everybody, we've tried to send this link out lots of times. There is a GMB notice board area where we put all the news briefs up. They're permanently on there, and in there, there's files, areas that you can go into, and all the agreements are in those areas. To be honest, we're not adverse to sending it to people on email if they want it and things like that. You know, I mean, my take on this is, colleagues, look, if some of the CDMs and people like that are not aware of the agreements, as long as you are aware of the agreements and you've got a copy of them, then that should be suffice at the end of the day. But yeah, there will be people that, don't concern themselves between agreements. There are still people that concern themselves. It's just about getting out the parcels. And they don't care, and they don't care how that happens. I wish they cared more about lorries arriving on time, depots opening on time, making sure that those depots, are clean and hygienic and a fit place for people to pick up the parcels and stuff like that. I think those are some of the areas I think we all really need to concentrate on. And actually, let's push back onto some of these managers that actually the CDM actually is not there for disciplining purposes. Is not there to be, on the courier's back. They're actually there, supposed to be supporting the couriers and helping them to make their job easier. That's what they should be there for. And these are things that we're trying to instill and trying to encourage. And where there are some CDMs that are very receptive to those issues, but there are 1 or 2 that don't want to make that effort.
Can I just say, I've just seen a post and I've just lost it. I think somebody was saying it sounds like we're targeting the DUCs.
God, no.
We're not.
No,
we're not. I'm going to clear that up now.
That was an item on the agenda. Can we just clarify, please?
Yeah, I think we need to.
Okay, and thanks for the opportunity, Ed, on this, because I think we do need to clarify. I am disappointed that there are people that think we would target other working people. Let me make it quite clear to people. There are DUCs that are members of GMB and are playing an active role in GMB. There are DUCs that are wanting to be part of a GMB agreement with the company and want representation and recognition rights other than when they are not acting as couriers. And we have assigned officers in our trade union to assist them. And we are actually trying to encourage as many DUCs to join the GMB as possible so that they can have proper representational rights as DUCs. Now, let's be clear though. and I'm not going to mince my words, because, you know, there are people that want to feel sorry sometimes. Let me just make it quite clear to people. There are people in the company, and there are one or two that have ownership of some of these delivery units that have deliberately exploited couriers and have threatened them that if they don't work for free, well, they're the last ones to get the parcels. Well, we've got all this evidence in writing. Thankfully, that's not all of DUCs that have done that. And by the way, there will be some couriers in life that are not very pleasant people themselves, and talk to fellow couriers or DUCs and managers as though they're dirt. That's equally bad behaviour. Exploitation and forcing people to work for free, let me be honest with you, has been illegal in this country for decades. Slavery ended a long time ago, you know, and there are such issues where legislation has been brought in place to prevent these things taking place. Now, I know there's an issue between what the DUCs have contractually agreed in some respects between Hermes, the changes that have taken place in the last 15 months because of the increase in volumes, and that there is an argument that DUCs are not being paid correctly for the services that they're being provided. However, that does not excuse people working for free or being forced to work for free. And there are some people that have tried to make some excuses. GMB has not pointed the finger at anybody. What we have said, it's not about a matter about who's at fault. It's that this stops and that there is a proper payment process in place. And the proper payment process in place is the guarantee of at least the national minimum wage hourly rate for working, which is £8.91. That is the proper rate. And, you know, and also there is an argument that if people are doing this on a regular basis, that actually the whole issue around this is that actually they're not self-employed people as well. There is a legal challenge that could be made over employment status, because we know there are people doing this task day in, day out, 3 and 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is an employed task. It's not a self-employed task. And some people need to take some legal advice here, because they could be potentially in trouble and they could be taken to court by those people that are working for them over employed status. What that means is they are entitled to a proper contract of employment. They are entitled to proper written terms and conditions, hours, at least the national minimum wage. They're entitled to a pension. They are entitled to sick pay. They are entitled to the working time directive. That's why people want to be careful here. They don't want to be messing around with words that they don't understand. So we have not pointed the finger at people. We're trying to warn people that if you don't get your act together, you're going to get challenged, and that there is going to be a serious issue. So the days of free employment are over, and it needs to be stopped. Everybody's entitled to dignity and respect, and I personally agree that the DUC should be paid correctly. They should be paid correctly. They should have a living wage too, and they should have the money assigned to them for the volumes that are taking place in their units. And also, they should have the payments afforded to them to ensure that there is proper hygiene and standards that take place in those. So it's not about pointing the finger at anybody. It is purely and simply saying it's not about a matter about whose fault it is, but it stops, and it stops now.
Just on the back of that, Mick, and I'm not contradicting Mick in any way, but actually Mick says we don't point the finger. I did today, okay? I was in an RDCF where I found out an RDM had said, "That's okay if they sort for free." No, it's not. And I raised that with his boss today, right? So I'm not blaming DUCs, right? I will blame whoever is pushing couriers into sorting for free. Okay. Now in this case, it was an RDM. I also have had another email off the back of that today, which I will deal with, where an RDM again had said, "It's all right. It's just part of your business plan that couriers have always done it for free." Oh no, it's not. Yeah. And can I be honest with you? And I've had a lady who's been emailing me and WhatsApping me, who has been asked to take over a DU, and I hope she's watching tonight, because actually she's come to me for advice, and I know Susie's done some of the background figures for me, and because I go to Susie and Barry, because I'll be honest with you, I'm solus, so a DU is another world to me that I'm learning about very slowly. But that lady who wants to take over that DU wants to do it right, because she's a GMB member. She wants to do it right by the people who work for her.
Yeah.
That is all we're asking. That is all we're asking to be done. And all power to her, because she's not going to go into it blind. Okay. So no, I'm not pointing
us in there. There's one or two of us that have come forward in a very well-mannered, timely inventions, and have just said, we agree with you, about this.
Absolutely.
And I would like people to know as well, I've had 3 meetings this year with DUCs on Zoom and stuff like that. I've gone through their issues. That is why we've assigned officers from our trade union to look after these people, to try and push some of the issues that they're dealing with. So, people need to be careful what they're saying sometimes. The rumour mill is a very strange thing. It happens in Hermes land and in Hermes world, that the rumour mill, but also there are some people that behave like sheep and just repeat what other people have said without actually knowing what the full facts of the matter are. I've got a lot of time for our members that are DUCs. They're honest, they're hardworking, and they're decent human beings. And they're being ripped off, and they're being ripped off by Hermes, and that needs to stop as well.
Absolutely. And it was actually me. I know they've started their own WhatsApp group, but actually just to try and support them to start with, I started the WhatsApp group for them, just so that, just like couriers, they work on their own, without being able to contact each other very well. I actually started a WhatsApp group for them, just so they could talk to each other, discuss the problems, to try and build and organise themselves, so we could look at working towards an agreement for them. And again, one of our own national reps is very involved with DUCs, and is very involved in sorting and working within a DU. Not free, I will say that. But so we are very involved with the DUCs. We will support DUCs all we can. But I'll be honest, and again, like Mick, I'm not going to mince my words. If you're not doing it right, then you won't get our support. But can I be honest with you? I would say the same of a courier. If a courier is not doing it right, they won't get our support. We expect people and our members to treat each other with dignity and respect as well. And that's we expect our members to show absolutely high standards in the way they treat each other, treat their DUCs, treat CDMs. And I've had a bit of a throwback with one or two people about what we should and shouldn't do and how we should react to people. I will say it now live on this broadcast. We should always hold the moral high ground, because only then can we hold others to those standards. Okay? And I think it goes back to what I think William Moss was saying earlier on about how we react to people. I've had couriers come to me and say, I've had my work withdrawn because I've swore at my manager. Yeah, the manager stood there, goaded you, and you swore at her. You've now had your work removed. Don't do it. Okay? And the same it goes right across. Do not mistreat your DUC. DUCs do not mistreat your couriers. Okay? We are all in this together. Okay? We do not want division between us all. The stronger we pull together, the stronger we are as a collective. And we must never forget that. Sorry, I think that's me and Mick have had our little... Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for that's the rant for the week over with.
Yeah, same here, mate. Go on,
Go on,
Susie.
Susie.
Voice,
Go on,
voice, of,
Susie.
voice of reasoning,
Bang our
Cam.
heads together. Bang our heads together. Any more questions?
Any more questions? There's one here, Linda Morris. Been encouraging as many couriers at my depot to become SE Plus and a GMB member, but she's been refused SE Plus herself. Firstly,
What?
why have you been refused SE Plus?
Yeah. Well, firstly, Linda, thank you, because you're doing the right thing and you're giving good advice out to people that they need to protect themselves. And actually being a member of the trade union that is the leading trade union for couriers in this country anyway, that they're doing the right thing. I mean, you know, there may be some people that think our trade union is just in Hermes. Well, actually, we've been in DHL International, we've been in UK Mail, and we've been in what is now called Yodel since it was formed, which was Securico Omega, which was formed in the 60s. So, you know, we are the oldest courier trade union in the country. So, you know, I just thought I'd stick that out there just in case people didn't think we knew our business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, come on, Linda, tell us why you can't be.
It looks like she's put further down. She's not been refused.
All right.
It's helping others become SE Plus. It's not helping others. Is that the CDM is not helping others?
Right.
Tell you what, Linda, get in contact with us. We'll sort it for you.
Yeah, you've got
CDM is refusing.
There's
CDM not allowed to.
Linda, get in touch.
Yeah.
Happy to help. Yes, she's got it. Yeah. Get in touch. Let us know where, and you know, get in touch with Ed and Susie on the email, and we'll help you get this sorted.
Right, I'm going to apologise because we said that was the rant over for the week. It's not. Okay.
Oh, right.
I am sick to the back teeth of people, couriers coming to me saying my CDM has stopped me going SE Plus. Somebody in a depot in Birmingham we had a conversation with this week. All that CDM had done was stopped all those couriers and persuaded them not to go SE Plus. And what he'd actually done also, he cost them the bonus because they were SE Plus those couriers voted, by the way, but were stopped, persuaded not to go SE Plus. If your CDM stops you or persuades you, or it's not for you, it's not right, you have to be now SE Plus to keep your rounds. There are 2 deadlines that have already been and gone, okay? We know the first one, I've had the figures, 260 couriers are now no longer round holders. They are only cover couriers because they did not sign SE Plus. The other one finished yesterday or today? Yesterday?
Monday.
There you go. I don't even know what day I'm on. Now, I haven't had the figures off them, but there were 700 couriers contacted. If any of those have not responded or not signed an SE Plus agreement, they are no longer round holders, okay? The next wave going out, which is only very shortly, there will be
6,000, yeah.
6,000 couriers contacted. If you do not sign SE Plus, you will lose your rounds, okay? You tell me, any of you from right across the nation, you tell me of a CDM who's persuading you not to, and I will deal with it. And I mean that because they have no right to, okay? They are putting your job at risk. You know, they are putting your benefits at risk, yeah? Do not allow them to do so. You name a CDM to me, I will take that person to corner. And can I be honest with you? The company are absolutely behind us on this. They will not tolerate it. You name a CDM to me, of course you can, Susie.
But just before this disappears, Graham Clark, one courier has been told he can't be SE Plus due to lack of budget. It's irrelevant.
Absolutely, total and utter crap.
Shit. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Let's use that word.
I was going to say something else. Right, get in touch with me. Can you? There's my email there. Get in touch with me. We will deal with that for you. Absolute, total and utter rubbish. Okay.
And we want to know when you first applied to be SE Plus, because this is affecting people. There are people that look. There are managers that are making these things up, and that are saying anything to you. Can we stop and just take cognizance of the issue. Why do you think they don't want you to be SE plus? Because it means you get rights and benefits. It
Correct.
means you get rights to paid time off. That's why they don't want you to have it, because they have to cover your work. It means that they have to work for a living and do what a manager should be doing. So we're not tolerating this. Anybody that's got these issues, and we seem to be saying it time and time again, that this is not right. We're not saying these things to you for fun. And you know something? We acknowledge that sometimes going against a manager could be a stressful thing to do. It could be a fearful thing to do. Well, I'm not flippant about these things. That's why we are here. We're on your side and we're here to help you.
And can I just extend that? If you are SE plus, you are entitled, like Mick's just said, to paid holiday, right? Now, can we just get the definition of what a holiday actually is? Very briefly and very simply, it's time when you are not working. You do not have to think about work. You do not have to answer calls from a CDM. You are off completely away from work, okay? Now, it is Hermes' job when you book time off to cover your rounds correctly. Because I don't know how many emails recently saying, oh, well, I was off for 3 days. When I've come back, I've got 3 days worth of work to do. Tell the CDM to go and deliver it in their own car because you're not responsible for those parcels, okay? I know couriers who've said to me, yeah, well, I didn't mind helping out because it was extra income. That's fine. That's your decision, okay? If you do not want to come back and clear a 350 backlog, which one courier's been asked to do, by the way, only in the last week, tell them no and pick up the phone or tap an email or go into your WhatsApp group and let us know because it's not right. And we have absolute agreement from Hermes that those rounds will be covered and you will not come back to an excessive backlog, only what would be a normal carry forward. Now, Mick toured the country fighting for this when he was doing the SA Plus agreement, and he was absolutely promised that those rounds would be covered. And to back that up, myself and Barry went and did a working party leading up to the launch of SA Plus. I asked it, Barry asked it, we both asked it, we asked it again, we asked it again. Will rounds be covered correctly? And at every point, the answer was absolutely. To make absolutely sure, we have already... It's in the agreement. It's absolutely in the agreement. But we've even took it to the divisional managers who said, absolutely, it's our responsibility. Do not be hoodwinked. Do not be conned into working your holiday or coming back to a load of backlog because the CDM can't get cover. Tough. It's your holiday. You have a right to it. We've won that right as a union. We've won that right for all our members. Do not let it go cheaply. It's your right. It's your time to spend time with your family, your children, your parents, whoever, or just to sit at home with your feet up and a nice long beer in the garden, in the sun, doing absolutely nothing. Or if you're Barry, go fishing, right? That is your time. It is not right that the CDM can come and say, I can't get call, you'll have to work. If it's happening and you're worried about it, pick the phone up and contact your local rep. Sorry, that was another rant, Mick. Sorry, Anne. It just boils my blood that couriers are treated in such a way. I have to be truthful.
Any other questions, Susie, we got coming through?
No, there's been lots on refused upgrades.
Yeah.
Why have they been refused? Do we have proof? Are they wrongly banded? Are they not seen in the last 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put an appeal out here because I've been thinking about this over the last few days, and I'm going to appeal to Peter Key and Kathy Wendon. If couriers can take the time to gather the evidence on just some of their rejected upgrades, would Peter and Kathy put a section on their Facebook page where couriers could upload their refused upgrades? But what we would need is possibly a parcel on the scale so we can prove the weight. If we can get enough of those, I will take it back to the company and say, you're refusing these incorrectly. Because, by the way, when they're refusing it, they're not paying you. not paying you right for the work you're doing. It's not just an upgrade. The admin payment's another thing, okay? But the actual upgrade is your legitimate pay for the work you are carrying out for Hermes. Now, again, and I keep quoting the gentleman sat next to me, Mick. Mick actually raised it with the company that if they are refusing upgrades, what they are saying is you are claiming them fraudulently.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
We need the evidence that you're not, because we will take it back to the company, because actually what we'd like to prove is it's the company that are defrauding us, not the other way around, because you are not being paid correctly for the work you're doing, okay? So please, if that's possible, Peter and Kathy, if you can let me know, or you could set something up, we can post it on all the WhatsApp groups, so couriers have one space to go and upload the evidence that we can then go into, and when we go to a national meeting, we can go and collect all the evidence and take it with us and say, there you go, there's 1, 2, there's 30, 40, 50, you know, upgrades, all provable, and you've refused them. Why? And we can go and ask the question then. So if you could do that for us, Peter, or anybody else has an idea, we just want a central place where we can go and get all the evidence. Would be fantastic.
So on the back of that, barcode not used for the last 3 months, if you can provide us with maybe a screenshot of your manifest with the barcode on, and then we go via the tracking on Hermes World or My Hermes, and you can actually track the parcel. And if we can just have a picture of both,
we'll challenge it.
We can challenge it.
When they say it's not seen in the last 3 months and you've delivered it on the day that you've put the upgrade in, how can they say it's not seen in the last 3 months? The one thing I would say, okay, if you're putting those upgrades in, really seriously think about taking the time to go into your manifest, because with some of these new barcodes, couriers are often getting the wrong. It's a 0 and they're putting an O, or vice versa, or it's an I and they're putting a 1. So it's a typo. You know, just think about actually copy and pasting the barcode. I mean, I know Susie had about 30 or 40 sent to her, and every one she went through, it was a typo, and you know, there's nothing we can do about that. But you know, track it yourselves. Check it out. You can do that quite simply. I know it's time consuming, but this is your pay. If we get the evidence, we will again put pressure on the company. But we can't just go and say it's not right. We need your evidence. We need to work collectively on this, and that includes all of you too, not just us.
And again on upgrades, sorry.
All right, no, sorry.
Would a photo of the label stating the weight as an example 2.5 kilo but marked as a packet? No, because the weight that's printed on the label is not necessarily right. You need to weigh the parcel. I think
Mick used the phrase horse manure. Yeah. Well, so some of those labels, that's exactly what they are, and that's not Hermes, by the way. That's the clients doing that. You know, absolutely. You know, I've had couriers send me a picture of a big bike from Sports Direct. 500 grams. I'll tell you what.
You have to get labels with nothing on, with 0.
Yeah, we've seen. Yeah, well, that's been highlighted to us where there's nothing on. We really could do, and I know, honestly, I know it's a pain. You know, because I did it for the last pay claim where I weighed all my parcels, and I'll be honest with you, it was a pain in the backside, but I needed the data. All we're asking is you to do it periodically, 1 or 2 a day. We will pick up enough rejections off that. Then we will challenge the company. Okay, just to put it in context, when they used to, and again, some couriers may not remember it because they haven't been around long enough. When they started the upgrades, it was no questions asked. Then it was changed to we were using audit data. I didn't have a facility. We didn't have the WhatsApp groups then, and we didn't have broadcasts like this. So I actually kept weighing my own parcels till I got about half a dozen rejections, and I took them with me to a national meeting and went, there you go. Within days, the audit data was removed because it wasn't paying couriers correctly, and we did that at a national meeting. So if I can go with my own again, and then hundreds of examples from all of you, we want it removing again. It's as simple as that. Whatever process they're using to reject them, we want it explaining, we want it verifying, and it's not right, we want it removing. It's as simple as that. We want paying correctly for the work we do. That's all we're asking. You know, we are not trying to be funny with the company. We're not trying to defraud the company. We are literally just asking to be paid correctly for the work we do.
Right, can I just say we've gone over on time?
I think I saw you looking at your watch there, mate, and I think you're right. I've just clicked myself.
I've just had a message from Paula. To be honest, colleagues, look, we know that people have been up early this morning since working very hard, and Paula has been doing the same. So I do apologise, Paula. We were due to finish about 20 minutes ago. So sorry, everybody. I mean, it's like. No, it's lovely having conversations with our members. I'll give you a guarantee, colleagues, we'll be holding another meeting either in the next week or it'll be within the next 2 weeks, because there are some things that we want to discuss with you. So thanks, Paula, for all your help behind the scenes.
Thank you very much, Paula.
Thanks for the nudge. Welcome. You should have given me that nudge 10 minutes ago. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight and for putting your views forward. And we'll see you again shortly. We'll be sending the messages out for when the next meeting is. So thank you, everybody. Keep safe.
Take care, everybody, and stay safe.
Take care. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, Paula.